Do you hear us?
A generation ago, we fled the crumbling British Empire as the world froze around us. I held New London together. United, we survived 30 years of whiteout. But the world around us is dead. Empty.
Right for taking. The city flows. Merely surviving is not enough. We have to expand. After all, it's us who survived the end of the world.
Yes.
Welcome to the Frozen Apocalypse, everyone, and Frostpunk 2. At long last, after a huge wait for Frostpunk 1, Frostpunk 2 is finally available. If you bought the deluxe edition of the game, it started available as of September 17th. If you bought the regular edition of the game, it's available starting September 20th. I tried to stream the prologue when I was playing earlier, but unfortunately my internet would not cooperate. We did fail one attempt before my internet collapsed, so I figured it'd be fun to like jump in and just try to get through a successful run of the prologue so we could move on to the further parts of the story. If you're not familiar with this game, basically you're building up a frozen colony sometime in a dystopian future when the world has gone through some new ice age. This is 30 years after the settings of the first game, so there's a little bit of time that's passed there. And we need to try and create an environment that people can live in, even though the world's frozen and everybody's basically dying. I'm not going to be editing this video a terrible lot, so it'll be much similar to how I would typically stream the game. But now that I've had a run at the game prologue already once, I do have some sense of how the gameplay works. If you're not familiar with this game, at the top left over here, we have our population. It's the total number of people that are around, but of those, you'll have a specific workforce who can actually work. So you don't get all of your population as workforce. And then we got sick people as well. In the top here, we've got scraps, which are a form of resources you need to pay for things. Prefabs that are used for building structures and districts in the game. And then on the right-hand side, you have to provide shelter for your people, of course, food for them to survive, and then the materials are necessary to maintain the different districts that you might set up as you're building through the game. In the center here, we have, of course, the heat requirement. This shows how much heat you're producing and how much is required. So in this case, the demand for the Dreadnought wreck is 20 heat, but we're not producing any, so the output is 0. So we're in the negative 20 there right now. That's because we're not producing any fuel, and that we're going to fix that right now by building a district here on top of the oil region to extract some of that oil that we can use in order to produce the oil that's needed to produce heat. Now we have to provide some housing for our people because you know, obviously it's cold. Nobody wants to try to sleep in the cold. So we can throw a housing district in next to the Dreadnought here, and you'll see that anytime you're building close to another region, you may have these little icons that will pop up that will show that if you can collect 3 of these, in this case 3 anyway, that'll give you some sort of a benefit. So in this case, we'll get plus 20 heat production, which sort of reduces the heat requirement for the district we're building by 20. Making it a little bit easier to produce what's needed to keep them alive there. To speed up time a little bit, we have a whiteout that's going to be arriving in 85 weeks. When that whiteout arrives, we have to have 40,000 food stockpiled. Right now, I don't have the capability to have that much. We only have like 10,000 stored, but we're also not producing any, so that's certainly something we have to solve for. The initial missions are getting us here on the left-hand side. We have to frost break to an oil wagon, which we've already done. We're building that district. Turn on the furnace so we can produce heat. And then that's also going to require us to build housing. I've sort of jumped the gun a little bit and started to build the housing that we're going to need. Oil. As the thick black liquid oozes through the pipes, our people rejoice. The carcass of this old machine is a testament to the hardships that made us, but more importantly, it's our haven in the storm. It's allowed us to weather many whiteouts and will do so again. We have oil. We can turn on the furnace. So now we need to select the dreadnought over here and turn this on so we can start to produce heat. That will start to keep people warm. Now this dreadnought's going to require more oil supply as we build more districts because we have to produce more heat. Provide basic infrastructure. The furnace is on. We have enough oil for the current needs, but cold will still affect our people until they have proper shelter. We're working on that now. So they want us to produce some shelter for them. We have to build 2 housing districts. I have 1 built now. We might as well go ahead and throw in the second one. Oh, actually I got to clear out the snow here first. That might be important. Because we don't have quite enough snow cleared. Actually, nope. I was going to say I thought there was a food thing back there, but there's not. Maybe what we'll do is I need 6 total spaces for the housing. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can dig out here. I think I have some that are available here right now. We have like 5 available, so I need basically 1 more. I can do that over here. I want to try to spread out the use of my snow removal as much as I can to get over to the stuff I'm going to need later. I can't quite stretch far enough to reach this this oil wagon, unfortunately. That's all right. We'll get that cleared later. Get that going. Once we have enough space there, we can get the housing in. Now over here we have more prefabs, so we're going to want to clear out snow to get to those also. Oh, actually I got that cleared. So we'll need to build an extraction district over here. The prefabs are used for building the different districts. At the top you can see we have 470 right now, but we have an income of 0 per week. So as we're building things, those are depleting quickly. Once I get this extraction point set up here, that'll feed us with a source of prefabs. So I have the stuff I need to build additional districts like housing or food districts, that sort of thing. And that's this top objective up here under the provide basic infrastructure that we needed. That'll whip through pretty quick. Oh, this is cleared over here now, so we can do our housing district. I'm gonna hug this one all the way around the first district so we just keep it all nice and warm. "76 weeks until we get the whiteout. As soon as we get finished with this housing district, they're going to ask us for a place to have food, so I might as well start to prepare that right now. I want to work out in this direction so we can try to get access to additional prefabs and stuff while we're at it. But we're going to need to build multiple food districts in order to get the food supply. We have to get up to 40,000 stored away. Right now, there's only one political faction we have to worry about, and that's the Wanderers. Our relationship with them is neutral, but if we wanted to, we could talk to the Wanderers and have them reduce the amount of food they're consuming so we can stockpile food quicker. We might have to do that. We can borrow some scraps off of them as a favor so we can buy more things, or we can give it back to them to try to improve our relationship. Gain access to food. So as I said, it's popping up with the food requirement. Huddle camp close together, easier to trap warmth. Well, we've done that, so that's good. They're working over here to clear this. That's pretty much ready. So I can throw in my food district here now. We're gonna need a second food district, but in the attempt that I had before, when I was streaming this, the prefabs were a bit of a problem. So I'm gonna try to stretch down here. We'll get the prefabs uncovered and then access to this next set of oil that'll be needed to produce more heat, because heat consumption goes up the more districts we build. Same thing with this one over here, actually. I'm kind of burning through scraps really quick, so hopefully I don't deplete everything. When you're clearing an area out with the snow, you do have to clear out a minimum number of tiles, so it does require you to clear 8, as you can see on the little pop-up there. You have to select 8 spots in order to do it, and then you get the little check mark, and you can choose that. Any fewer than 8, it just won't let you. Okay, I'm gonna get another extraction district over here built so we can get more prefabs going. These run out fairly quickly, so we want to try to like stockpile those fast so I can use them for building after. Prepare for the whiteout. We secured our immediate survival. Now we have to stockpile as much food as we can before the whiteout forces us to take shelter. To do that, we need to produce more food than our current demand. Then we'll have to stockpile it, so we'll need more storage for it as well. Currently not stockpiling food because we don't have enough. Not surprisingly. I'm gonna do some more groundbreaking here. We'll clear out a spot. Now this this food district right here is actually on the way over to a materials district that I'm going to need. And those materials are used for maintaining the districts. So we're going to want to harvest those. Another point of extraction. Because right now our requirement is 60 to maintain things. 40 for the extraction districts and 20 for the food districts. But we're just not producing any. So we're tapping through any resources we might have had, which was basically nothing. So stuff's going to start to break on us. Alright, that's all frost broken. We can now throw another food district in here and start stockpiling food. Our requirement right now is 53. That's what the demand is, but we're only outputting 45. So we're running a -8. But as soon as I get this produced, then we'll be in a surplus position and we'll start to stockpile. Which is good, because we only have 64 weeks to do it in. Burning through scraps really fast. Every time I use this this little construction system down here, it takes 300 workforce, 30 scraps in order to clean out an area. Unfortunately, that adds up quick. Finn Kell, 42 gardener, pouring sand in his hands. We've been here so many times. The soil's depleting. A couple more and there'll be no point in erecting the hothouses. There'll be nothing to grow food on. The yield is so low. Either we pull emergency shifts or tighten our belts. Otherwise, there might not be enough for everyone. Might not be able to fill food stockpiles without exceptional measures. Consider taking the wanderers, or asking the wanderers to tighten their belts or instill emergency shifts in food shelters. Or food districts, rather. Okay, so we have the option of doing that, or we could just try to race the production and see if we can get ahead of the curve. We have to stockpile quite a bit, so whether I can do that or not is a little bit of a guessing game. If you didn't want to chance it, that's probably the wise thing to do, but you know, you are also sort of balancing how unhappy people are. Overall trust, I'm accepted at the moment because I'm neutral with the wanderers, but if we set that into a negative position, then workers start to get problematic. For some reason, workers insist on trusting you. I don't know why that is. We'll set an extraction district here to get the resources we need to maintain our districts. We can get more off of this one if I need to, but I'm going to try to conserve resources by not doing that right away. I have enough scraps and stuff, I think, to set up another extraction district here on this oil so that we can produce the heat we're going to need. Because right now we're running a deficit there. We're -40. I'm trying to keep people warm so they don't die off on me. Against the elements, squalor. Each day the wind grows fiercer. Relentlessly it beats against our buildings, weakening our structures gust by gust. Without raw materials to repair the damage, our districts will deteriorate. Little do they know, I'm already ahead of them on that. The more we build, the more materials we need. This is the world we know. Promise to gather more. So they'll be happy with me once this thing kicks into production. And that'll improve my relationship with the Wanderers, which is great. Fortunately, I'm only having to deal with one faction right now. This thing here, you can see, is running out of resource, and this outer ring will deplete as it gets down to the point where it has nothing left. Once it has nothing left, we can break it down to get the materials back. Great work. We're now gathering enough materials to maintain our districts. Time to focus on stockpiling food for the whiteout. Let's focus on food, baby. More sick people. I have 204 scraps, so let's try to reach this food. Actually, there's a food spot down here. We'll go after this one down here. Now this one, we find out later, apparently has seals. Like 400,000 food in there. Like that's got plenty enough for us. It won't run out the way that some of the other districts will. So we'll try to get that one. It's just a question of whether it will produce enough in the time frame we have, really. Okay, this district over here has 300, well, not district, but this, yeah, it is a district, yeah. So this extraction district has 320 prefabs remaining, about 16 weeks worth before it's tapped out. This one over here currently has about 80 left, so about 4 weeks left before it's tapped. Tria Cleghorn, 62, seamstress, so others may live. My knees ache and my fingers are so stiff I can't hold the needle anymore. I've lived a full life. It warms my heart to see little Betty and Jacob play by the evening fire, but maybe this is it. I've talked with the other elders. If it comes to it, we will go. I won't let my grandchildren starve. Some people are ready to sacrifice themselves to lower the food requirements. So we can let them walk out into the snow, and that'll reduce the amount of food we need. But I would prefer to avoid that. I think what I'm going to do instead, we're going to have the Wanderers tighten their belts so we can start to stockpile more food. And that doesn't make them happy, but fortunately I did something that they wanted beforehand, so hopefully that won't have a long-term negative impact. Now we're stockpiling more food than we're consuming right now, which is great. 49 a day. It's not a huge amount, but it's more than what we were getting. We'll do another food district down here. And then we're going to need to have more storage for the food, because we can only currently store 10,000. The stockpile maximum there is 10,000. And that's where these little hubs come in. We can do a food stockpile and build that right next to here. If I build it next to this place, then that'll reduce... Actually, if I can get it here, if I get it so that there's 3... Well, I need to... Gonna clean out some snow here. We got too much snow in the way. We're gonna try to create a situation where we can get a reduction in our workforce requirement to have these things, because it's gonna be really important. In order to do that, you need to meet the requirement for it. So in this case, for these little stockpile hubs, you need to have, it has to be in contact with 3 food district spaces in order for it to give you the workforce reduction. Once they finish digging all that snow out, we should be able to do that. This thing's very close to being toast. Okay, this one's done. Let's demolish this. That'll get me back the prefab that we used to build it, as well as the workers. It'll also cut down on our materials demand, which is great, and then the heat demand, so all around a good thing to get rid of the stuff we don't need anymore. Mysterious symbol, the Captain's Legacy. One of our frostbitten crew uncovered the frozen remains of a man in a tattered uniform. His shoulder patch reads New London Scouts, 3rd Platoon, and he bears an obscure insignia. Some of our elders claim it belongs to a military organization, while others argue it has a religious significance. Maybe you've heard of this, New London, before and can settle their debate. So New London was the city that you had in Frostpunk 1. Let's just go ahead and we'll pick Symbolizes Order. I don't know what impact this has on the game yet, because I haven't gotten past this particular level. So I have no idea whether that has future ramifications, but hopefully not. Since I don't know what I would want to pick there exactly. Let's get that food stockpile ready. So if I place it here, you can see it meets the 3-bar requirement to get minus 10% workforce requirement. So we're going to do that. So we'll get that one building, and then we can do a second one over here. That will give me all the storage that I need to get to the 40,000 food stockpile. And then it's just a matter of like actually producing that much, you know, which is kind of a big thing. We're right on par for our heat requirements, so as soon as we get these other buildings online, it's gonna crank things up a bit. Okay, output 210, so we're good there. Demand 210. Got plenty of heat, which is great. And this thing hasn't even broken down yet. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we need more food. If we can get the food stockpile going, then we can manage to live. Let's, I've got one more place over here we can expand to add food. We can go down into the valley down here too, but that seems to be less effective. I don't know which is the better pathway to get over here with the snow cleaning. One way or another, we're gonna fall one short, so I guess we'll go that way. 46 weeks until the whiteout hits, and we're stockpiling at a rate of 129 per day, which is pretty good. Colder season, heat demands increase. Okay, so now we're not producing enough heat. We need to actually get more fuel production here. So we'll do an extraction district down here. That should meet the oil requirement. We need to keep everybody warm. So far, we haven't had anybody die yet. I'd like to keep it that way. This district is running out of supplies too, but that's okay. We don't need to fabricate that many more buildings before the whiteout hits. So we'll just let it run its course, and we'll break it down to get the resources back. I think we should institute double shifts down here also, affecting this district. Emergency shifts. So trust will fall slightly, but production efficiency is increased. So we're going to do that. We'll start stockpiling additional food. Workers in food district work double shifts. Disease is increased, but I'm sure they would prefer to be slightly diseased versus very dead. We got mostly dug out over here, but I need a little bit more snow removal to make this work for me. Ugh, again, just shy of what I need. They've got it spaced out, so you can't quite get the snow removal to go to both of the food places there. Okay, so we have actually 7 excess fuel, which is good. Everything's trending along way better than it did when I was streaming. Because, you know, I had no idea what I was doing when I was streaming. It was my first shot at this. The whiteout draws near a sacrifice. People in the camp are getting tense. They worry we won't gather enough food in time. Our hunters propose to slaughter the remaining seals, including pups and females. This will allow us to gather much more food, but will wipe out what could be the last colony of these creatures on Earth. However, many elders have volunteered to walk into the Frostlands. So we currently have stockpiled 17,000 food. We can slaughter the seals. Food production will greatly increase. The last of the seal colony will be butchered. Let our elders go or don't resort to extremes. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if we should slaughter the seals or not. So they produce quite a bit. 400,000 food available there. It's just a question whether we're getting enough of it. I'm gonna chance it not wipe them out. Let's see if we can stockpile just on enough food production sources rather than wiping out the last of the seal colony there. I don't know if it makes a difference or not in the larger gameplay of things, but I guess we'll find out. 180 workers, plus 20 for nearby stockpile hub. So this takes 100 workers for the stockpile hub, but it saves 20% in the food district itself. It would actually be better if I could have a second food district built around the stockpile hub, but that's not really an option. I don't think, anyway. I'm fairly certain in order to build additional districts, you have to build it on the resource, not just build it out larger. If I could expand it around behind here, that would be great. Don't think that's an option, though. What's our food stockpile? 20,000. We're halfway there. We have 31 weeks left. I think we might be all right. You know, barring something catastrophic happening anyway, which maybe I shouldn't say. Let's get... Oh, I don't have enough workforce to clear that out. That's a problem. Okay, workforce is an issue. So is our maintenance just slightly. We're just a little bit low on the material production. I need 300 workers to be able to clear out more snow. Or 26,000 stockpiled. Okay, I'm gonna decrease my production supply over here a little bit. I wonder if I can get enough reduction here to actually get the 300 workers I need. Oh, I have to turn it way down. We'll be like 114 short. All right. Hopefully this is just a short-term fix, so I can take these back as soon as I finish cleaning out the snow. Pray that doesn't shoot me in the foot, because things are going along fairly well so far. I don't know what the new district is going to need. So, food district requires 200 workforce, so 100 less than what the snow clearing required. So 310 is back available. So if I go back over here, I can slide this bar until we get to the, well, I guess it's like 220. So we'll go that way, and that will give me enough workforce so I can build another food district down here on the spot we've opened up. That'll increase our materials requirement for maintenance, but more importantly, it'll give us the food we need, and we only really have to last long enough to get that 40,000 stockpiled in time for the winter. Probably didn't actually even need this one down here now that I look at it. What does this one have left? Food remaining 9,000 available left there. All right, with this one built, we're now getting 239 food per day stockpiled. We'll hit that 40,000 without any trouble now. Probably would have before, actually, with 19 weeks remaining. I'm going to turn down the food production here just a little bit. to get some workers back so that I can turn this up, because we're going to need that maintenance. This one here is running out of supplies, so we'll be breaking this district down soon. Food secured! We did it! Secured enough food to survive the incoming whiteout. Workers will make some last-minute preparations before the storm arrives. We should try and keep our people warm for this time. We will survive. Alright, we've actually got more food than we can handle right now. It's probably an okay thing. Stockpile hub is completely full. Let's try to build another one of those. I've got 30 workers left. How many does it take for this? Oh, I need 100. So we won't be building another stockpile, fortunately. Although, this one's about ready to break down. I think I could leave this hub just, or the storage place, like just sitting out by itself. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know if I should find it or not. I guess I could just disable this. I don't actually need to destroy it, but I just won't get the prefab back. I'll get the workers though, which is the important part. 12 weeks left remaining. It's not... Oh, you know what? I think probably... Let's deactivate this district, because we've already maxed out our production. I don't even need that thing live anymore. And this one here we can turn back up to full. This thing is already back at full, so we're good there. If we want to keep our stuff repaired, we could move into another maintenance district over here, but I've only got 168 workers, so I guess I can't really do that exactly. Let's just move it up to hyperspeed, churn through these last few weeks quickly, because we only got 6 weeks to go. Sick people have gone back to work, so that's good. Way less death that time. my first run at this, we failed epically. This time we got prepared in time. And here comes the whiteout. Against all odds, the Wanderers' survival. When the whiteout hit the camp, the Wanderers were ready. Everyone was thankful, and we acted fast and gathered enough food in time. The miracle of the seal colony strengthened our hope that our journey will lead to a promised land. Our elders have added to the story to their great tales alongside warnings about a sinful city that still pumps smoke into the sky. We survived.